Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream. How are you all doing? Kengi, Dermy, Nicolaus, Roland, or Red Beertje, same thing. Welcome, good to see you. You're doing your taxes, yeah, I need to do that as well. I'm gonna pay a lot of money to the government. Oh well, I knew it was coming. Hey Marcel, Friday I fly to Amsterdam to stay with a friend for my spring break. Oh, that's cool. Where are you from? Presumably not from the Netherlands then. Flying from like Eelde to Amsterdam. Most wasteful trip ever. Aznask Durbatuk, Aznak Gimbatul, Aznak Trakultuluk, Azbumirische Krimpatul. That's about the best I can do. I know it's the Black Speech from Lord of the Rings. You're from Michigan. Oh, that's pretty cool. I probably asked that before. I do remember someone being from Michigan. That might be you. But I forget because I have a lot of viewers and I can't remember everything. Why post that random Lord of the Rings thing? It's funny because this is the first time in a while that Roland is here. One of my real life friends. And he is a massive Lord of the Rings fan, but presumably you don't know that. The time delay will be wonderful. Yeah, it's about 7 hours. Probably, maybe 8. No, I think 7. No, you did not know that, obviously. It's a nice coincidence. That's what you get for not doing as much GeoGuessr. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of GeoGuessr. I did it last week. But before that, it had been a while. I used to play RST Classic a lot, so I watched your videos. Nice to see you start playing Geo. It's not really starting. I've been doing this for quite a long time. I just haven't done it on stream for a while. Ah, you were already busy last week. Good, well, fun to see you here. So, last week we had a lot of problems with Battle Royale not working. Was not on my end, was just GeoGuessr being buggy as hell. But I've tested it out today and it seems to be fine. So I'm looking forward to doing some Battle Royale. Other than that, I will also show you... like last time I showed you where I grew up, the village. Which was a lot of fun, explored the village a little bit. And today I want to show you some other things, because I think it's fun to show. And you guys seem to be really interested last time, so you'll probably be interested today as well. But we'll do that a bit later on. Such as my school and stuff. Hold on, you will... I think you grew up in Meppel, right? So you might already know that. You know, what I will show then. Anyway, let's get started with some good old Battle Royale. Where is it again? Career. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, you just need to guess where in which country you are in the world. Feel free to guess in the chat. I'm not gonna look at the chat while I'm guessing, only in between rounds. So I'm not going to have any advantages of that, opposed, you know, compared to the others who are playing. Is it? Why is this? I think it's snowy. Oh, there's a sign, which I can't read. Hang on. This is not practical at all. Okay, there's a sign there as well. E4. That looks Swedish. The 51, the 55. Let's see. Marcel AB. Oh, let's go for Sweden. Why not? Oh. I was right. Looks like Eastern Northern Europe. Yeah, it kind of felt a bit like Eastern Europe, but just those road signs reminded me so much of Sweden. What music playlist is it? It is by an artist called Harris Heller, and it is called Stream Beats Lo-Fi. And I learned it. I got it from Cody Watkins. He used it as well. He recommended Harris Heller. It's pretty good. Okay, there's a poster there that should help. Welt in Bewegung. Oh, that seems German. That means world in movement, I think. Probably Austria. There we go. Easy. Witte Kopie means white copy. Alright, let's see. This looks Japanese. I feel. I don't know yet. You know what, let's give it a go. Because there are not too many spots left this round. Oh, I was right. Oh, and it's damn good that I did this as well. Oh, it's white in German, of course. Witte is literally Dutch for white. I'm stupid. Drive through. It feels Mexican. Oh, I just learned this. Octagonal poles. That's octagonal. And it's not Mexico. It was Australia? Okay. I literally just read, like, 15 minutes ago, not even. on Reddit about... Right on the left, yeah, I didn't pay attention to that, but just literally like 15 minutes ago on Reddit, there was a thread on the GeoGuessr subreddit about how to identify South America. And they said in Mexico, there are octagonal poles. And I was like, hey, that thing's octagonal. It's probably Mexico then. That's just such a coincidence. Well, let's try again, shall we? Oh, we got 2 people with fancy icons. They're presumably quite a high level. Oh yeah, there's a 50-50 in it, which I will not use myself. But in the few rounds I did when testing it to make sure it wasn't bugged still, I got quite a bit of use out of the 50-50. Just by others using it and failing by using it. Because it always gives you 2 countries that are right next to each other or very close to each other that both haven't been guessed yet. So if they guessed the wrong country, you can see which country they guessed. And you know it's one that's very close to it. And often borders it. You know, unless island nations is a bit more difficult. Okay, someone guessed Libya. Well, that's certainly wrong. Okay, there we got a 50-50. And they got Honduras. Well, then we know it's not Honduras. So, it must be Guatemala, right? Okay, I guessed, but it's not processing it. Oh, never mind, I didn't click. Hang on. Is it Costa Rica then? Yes, no, it's not. Hang on, which country is it? Or did I just fail? And did I just see it wrong? And is it not that either? English stop sign, but feels like eating your brain. I am doing this entirely wrong at the moment. Yeah, I knew that. This is so stupid. So, I saw the stop sign saying STOP, right? Just stop. I know that in Central America they say alto and in South America they say pare. I just completely hyper-focused on the 50-50, which I completely saw wrong. It was not Honduras that was guessed wrong in the 50-50, because they would not have gotten Honduras in the 50-50. I mean, I got the flag right, but there was someone else that guessed Honduras at the same time. And I completely disregarded all other clues, which is just dumb on my side. Being hyper-focused on one specific thing is not good often in these kind of scenarios. Learn from me. Oh yeah, stop signs are French only in Quebec, not in France. It's because in all of Europe they just say stop. As an attempt to make it easier, you know, to synchronize the kind of traffic laws and... Not laws, but traffic stuff. Hrvatski dom. I mean, Hrvatska is Croatia. So, Hrvatski might be... There we go. That was easy. That's cool. I love it when it's these kind of little clues that make me guess the correct country. Just the fact that it says Hrvatski and I know that Hrvatska is Croatia. I mean, it's not particularly useful in real life. But for these kind of video games, it's fun. Although, technically, this is my job. I make a little bit of money from Twitch. So, it's sort of useful in real life. Little clue, literally the name of the country. Yeah, but how many people know that Hrvatska is the Croatian name for Croatia? And that's the thing. You do need to know that, and I feel like that's a relatively obscure fact. I think most people don't know that. Like, some country names you can sort of guess. Like Nederland being Netherlands, that's similar. Looks similar. But some don't. Presentes en el camino de something. I don't know how Spanish goes. Oh, there's a sign there, that might help. Ah, Guayaquil. That's the biggest city in Ecuador. There we go. More than people know about octagonal poles. Yeah, but that fact didn't help me. You said Ecuador maybe. Did you know that before I said that? Before you saw Guayaquil? Because I also read on the same thread about South America that someone thought that Ecuador just had a general feel. Much like Lesotho. So you might have gotten it from the general feel as well. I don't have that general feel yet with Ecuador. But I do have it with Lesotho, so if I play South America often enough, I might get it with Ecuador as well. I find South America really difficult. Someone guessed Colombia, someone guessed Venezuela. Call it vibe. Yeah, vibe, feel, close enough. Okay, this definitely feels European. But where though? Kuenberger. Okay, that could still be... Oh, that's Cyrillic. Oh, .bg, Bulgaria. Surely. Yeah, nice. The Spanish countries are so hard on GeoGuessr because there's just so many of them. Well, funnily enough, the original Spanish-speaking country, aka Spain, is not particularly difficult for me. It's rather distinctive. But maybe that's because I'm European and I'm more used to differences within Europe that are close to my own culture. I've also been to Spain, although that's so long ago that I don't really remember much from it. I was really young at the time. Hang on, there was a sign there. Centrum. I say Centrum, I don't know what language it is yet. Let's see. Well, that's entirely English. There we go. That's more like it. That's unintelligible stuff. It feels like... Oh, Košice. I know where Košice is. That is, I believe, here, yes. Slovakia. Second biggest city. Okay, finale time. This is... Well, it looks quite poor. I have no clue yet. I would not have... You know what, let's do one guess. Let's do Romania. No. Worth a shot. I mean, it looks kind of depressing, so Hungary and Bulgaria are also options. But I would kind of like to see some language. Okay, that's Cyrillic, definitely. That street sign. Let's try Bulgaria. No. Okay, it's also not Russia. Because Butters guessed that. Okay, hang on. Can this give us a clue? Looks like a emergency vehicle of some sort. It's gone now. I could still go for Hungary as a last-ditch effort. Other than that, I don't know, and just we need to hope that the other person doesn't get it either. Oh wait, no, Hungary, not Cyrillic. Let's try Ukraine. Yes! Ukraine is victorious! I hope that's very prophetic. Is that the right word? I hope that I just made the correct prophecy. No, that's not the right word. I forgot the word, but whatever. It's a nice coincidence that Ukraine is victorious. I led Ukraine to victory. Thank you for the 4 months, Voodoo 3. I do appreciate that. Hungarian used the Latin alphabet. Yeah, I did. Yeah, prediction. That's the word I was looking for. Prophetic was the right word. Thank you. Yeah, Hungarian used the Latin alphabet. I did remember that in time. It was just I was still a bit hung on the depressing look. But I suppose Ukraine isn't the richest country either, so it's fitting. Both could have been used there. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about like the word that they use for what Professor Trelawney does. I couldn't think of it, but it's just predictions. And you were in the East, which has been the target of fighting in the last decade. That's true as well. Yeah, we were quite close. We're near Donetsk. Well, in Donetsk actually, not just near. Alright, let's see if we can do 2 in a row. Because that will be fun. Oh, I know those fancy icons I was talking about earlier. They were red. They were on fire, meaning they've been doing well for the last few rounds. Now we saw 2 people who were in ice, meaning they were not doing so well. If I win again, or get like 2nd place or whatever, I might be on fire as well according to the game. Although sometimes it works a bit weird, because I've been on fire after I like immediately lost once. Hang on, is that a... No, it's not a flag. This feels like South America. Okay, someone's guessing Mexico, Argentina. Yeah, people are starting to agree with me. Oh, hang on, there was a bunch of thing. Oh, that's just clothes. Doesn't really help. Let's see, we don't have yellow license plate, so it's not Colombia. Okay, it's not Chile. Someone guessed that. Do we have the Colombian? No, never mind. I already established it's not Colombia. Hang on, we drive on the left. This is in South America. No, South Africa, damn it. This is in South Africa. Like, the south of Africa. I don't know if it's the country South Africa, but let's give it a go. There we go. The mountains suggest South Africa. Yeah, I noticed that we drive on the left quite late, but I was still in time. Hi, Sabrina. I hope you're well as well. Okay. Let's see. Yellow license plate on the bus. I don't know how much that says. Oh, hey. That helps, probably. That looks Indonesian. Let's go Indonesia. Yeah, Pekanbaru, I know that city. That's in Indonesia. We're quite close to Perkantoran Pemda. I'm probably mispronouncing that. My mom would know how to pronounce it. She's lived in Indonesia for a while. Not right now, but when she was a kid. Caribbean, I don't think you can... I mean, you can be on, what's it called, the Dominican Republic. That's the only island you can be on, at least in Battle Royale. And then you have like bars on the roof rack. Okay, finally. It's really flat. We drive... Looks like we drive on the left. Or is that car parked? Yeah, we seem to drive on the left. Okay, I'm gonna... Royal Flying something. I don't care, I'm gonna go Australia. There we go. Hell yeah. I won again, twice in a row. Will I be on fire now? Australia Bollard. Are you... You seem to be quite good at GeoGuessr. Considering all of your knowledge like that. Yeah, let's go again. Let's see if I can do 3 in a row. I couldn't even check if I was on fire. It went by too fast. Which is good. It means there are a lot of players and you barely ever have to wait. Because imagine if you had to wait like 5 minutes to start a round just because there weren't enough players. And the longer you have to wait, the more likely people that have joined are going to leave because it takes too long. That will be really annoying. Okay, I don't really have any intuition quite yet about what this could be. Nothing. Truly nothing yet. And people's guesses are from all over the earth. Oh, hey, there we go. Hang on. There was a sign there. Oh, hang on. Mountford something. We're driving on the left. Well, it's either of those two then. There we go. Australia again. Well, that was easy. We've gotten Australia a lot. Well, that was not easy, but we've gotten Australia a lot. Part of the sign you could see was English, yeah. This says Mountford. What does the D mean? Like, what does a D and then like 2 little letters? What does it stand for? Like, it's not avenue, it's not... Oh, drive. Oh, thank you. It would be low-key awkward if you get placed in Ukraine now. Max, I literally won with Ukraine in the final round 2 games ago. Ukraine led me to victory. Or I led it to victory. Ah, that's a Finnish flag. There we go. And it was not awkward at all, actually. It actually was quite a nice moment, I'd say. And ultimately in GeoGuessr, I mean, still just a country. I mean, if I'm gonna be placed in Russia, I'm not gonna be like, ooh, you know, terrible, whatever. I'm just gonna play the game as it is. I really like the way Finnish people speak. I love Finnish accents in English. And I follow a few Finnish bands. So whenever, you know, interviews and stuff, get to hear Finnish accents, and it's always quite nice. Marco Hietala has a really good Finnish accent. I mean, his English is really good as well, but his accent is not too noticeable, but it's just the right amount that it makes it very interesting. Why do you still have moderator? I haven't got a stream in months. Because it doesn't really matter, and I just... Hang on. Fahrschule Tietze. This is somewhere... Ah, well, that's Germany. Oh, I was just in time. I mean, there's not like only a few people can be moderator. Hey, that's a theme park. That's a roller coaster. That's German. We're probably in some German park. Let's try Germany. Otherwise, I'll do Austria and Switzerland. There we go. Hang on, did I just say ooh? I did not say that. I did ooh, probably, not ooh woo. I will say it for you now, do ooh woo, just in time. I wonder what park that was. Well, this is America. Lol. Go ahead and clip it. I don't care. I'm not ashamed to say ubu. Alright, let's see. Ooh, shirtless man. Ibis Maria. Probably somewhere in South America. Definitely Spanish. Don't know where this would be though. Okay, it's not Mexico. Oh, hang on. Can that give us some... Bolivar. Gonna go Bolivia. No, it's not Bolivia. Help. Come on, give me a web address. No. No. Lots of signs, little info. Oh, come on, I already guessed Bolivia, you idiot. He's guessing it again. Mayales. I don't know where that is. If it's even a city. Oh, damn it. Very little time left. Argentina. Colombia. Yes! Haha! I should have looked for the Colombian cross on the signs. Alright. Driving on the left. Singapore. Definitely Singapore. Singapore has a certain feel. Come on. He probably got it as well. Yeah, he got it too. What country can this be? Why does he immediately guess? Does he know? Alright, screw it. I'm going for Mexico. Just in case. Oh. He immediately knew it was Chile. Like, was that a guess? Did he know? Was he or she from Chile? Also, how many people am I currently annoying by saying Chile instead of Chile? Or Chile? I like doing that. I like just saying words, country names, little bit differently. Just to, it's a little thing. Sweet child of mine. Well, this was not sweet child of mine. It didn't help me. I won 3 in a row, but not 4. Right? Yeah, I think I did 3. Voodoo child. Alright, let's play again. Ooh, I am on fire now. Cool. Alright, let's go. Still want to be dropped in the Netherlands. Just because it's fun. Well, this is Cyrillic. Obviously. Hang on, why do people know it? I have a feeling there's a really obvious clue here if people already know it. I missed it though. Hang on, that's the colors of Ukraine. Alright, let's just guess Ukraine for the hell of it. No. Okay, it's probably Russia. Because people are guessing it really quickly. And I'm just missing some obvious clue. I have all the time in the world. Because it's the first round. But, well, I mean, I have time until the timer runs out, obviously. If only I could do Cyrillic. That would help me a lot with these kind of countries. But I don't do Cyrillic. You know what, let's guess Mother Russia. There we go. It's Mother Russia. Hi Kurtman, how you doing? Alright, next round. Okay, there's a sign there. Oh, that helps. Oh, that's France. Lol. Rennes is definitely France. And Marouet. Marouet? Madeleine. Brehan. Loudéac. Moncontour. And Saint-Brieuc. Something like that. I can French somewhat. But I can't French too much. I got recommended this channel and had the urge to join. Well, welcome. I hope you enjoy yourself. I mostly play Roller Coaster Tycoon, but I play GeoGuessr every now and then on stream. Mostly on Wednesdays. Which is fun. Oh, help. Oh. Chile! We're in Chile. It's almost like the flag of Texas. It's really weird for me seeing all these overhead power lines. They have them in a lot of countries, and then some countries even make sense. You know, earthquake-prone countries, which I suppose Chile is. But in the Netherlands, we don't have that. Well, we have some, like, big power lines. But not, like, in the streets. They're all buried underground, like, everywhere. These kind of small, above-ground power lines don't exist. Except for maybe, like, some very rural, like, farms, but I don't think I've ever seen that. More mods just means that I don't have to pay much attention. Honestly, I think the last time that one of my mods actually had to do an action like banning or muting someone is, well, definitely in 2021. It's at least 2 months ago. So, it's very, you know, very rarely. It's mostly for the quotes. Oh, towns near Gouda actually have them. Really? Mihalijevek. That's probably mispronounced so horribly. That sign style makes me think Croatia. But I'm aware that similar styles also exist in other countries. Like, I have a feeling Slovakia? We'll see. Someone guess Belgium. Well, that's definitely either not even close to Dutch or French. Czechia, that's more like it. I haven't seen a 50-50 in a while being used. Like, I will never use mine, but, you know. Alright, let's try Croatia. Hell yeah! I'm good at this. Watch me now next round, like, make a terrible mistake. And me saying, like, I'm terrible at this. It's a pretty country. It is. I spent about a month in Croatia when I was 7. We traveled, like, down the entire coast with a car and caravan. Someone just used 50-50 and I didn't see it. Because I had already guessed, so I didn't pay attention. I was looking at the chat and just mindlessly moving around. Beretta Kartri, Mistrava Hama Hama. That's Czechia, by the way. .cz. If there's any like Czechs in the chat, you'll be cringing because that's entire. I just butchered your language and then did a whole lot more terrible things to it. Okay, this feels. Hang on. Paskopi, that feels Finnish. Is this Finland? Come on. Come on. Damn it. Might be Estonian though. I'm gonna keep Estonia in mind. Yeah, that's definitely Estonian. There we go. I might win this if no one else gets it, but they probably get it. Well, they both got one guess left. Durzum and Kutonai. Let's see if any of them gets it. They both guessed Norway, which is pretty dumb, except one of them maybe tried to do a Svalbard, but probably not. Okay, that's one out. They guessed Iceland. All the Nordic countries, at least the Nordic cross countries, have been guessed, which are the Nordic countries. Same thing. Come on, Durzum, you can do it. I believe in you. Estonia. No. I won. Haha. The Estonian fencing team trained at my school during the '96 Olympics, and since then I've always rooted for them. Oh, that's pretty cool. I always root for Estonian speed skaters, because Estonian has the best flag, one of the best flags in the world. Not quite the best, that's Iceland, but at least the best tricolor. And there's on the Dutch speed skating forums, there's an Estonian girl who's also a speed skater, and she always roots for the Estonians as well. And you know, I always feel with her. And I quite like I like Martin Lieve. He's an Estonian speed skater. Thank you for the follow, Curbman Curbs. All right. I'm confused at what that's supposed to be. Is it Cyrillic? Wait, no. Is that Thai? That's Thai. Yes. So my very first instinct was actually Thai, but it. Hang on, let me go back to the start. I felt like Thai, but then it also sort of didn't. And I was a bit confused. Ignore the curbs part. I just wanted curbman, but it's taken. Ah, right. I mean, this would have been a clue as well. Okay, so you pronounce this as Ekamai. I should really learn how to read all these different scripts. Although that's probably too much work. And you got Bang Na, Dao Kanong. This is probably a mispronounced probably as well. Although knowing how to read Cyrillic would really help, because there's quite a few countries with Cyrillic. And it's more local. There's a higher chance I end up like in Ukraine or Bulgaria at some point in my life than let's try to refresh. Than like in Thailand. Oh, this looks like an extremely well maintained road. Probably one of the Nordic countries. Yeah, I don't have to guess yet. Okay, so it's not Sweden. I guess it's on Finland currently, but we can wait it out. We have time. Oh, people are starting to get it. Okay, let's go Sweden. Yes. Wait, did I say Sweden? I meant Finland. I did go for Finland. I did get it right. I just said the wrong country name. What's the flag with a red dragon on it? Is that Wales? But you can't guess Wales here. This is a very muddy road. Well, not really muddy, sandy. Okay, we do drive on the right. That makes me think... Oh, Paris. Okay, so that's South America. Wouldn't know where though, but let's see. Do we have Colombian cross? No. Okay, so it's not Colombia. Do we have octagonal poles? Well, that one's not quite octagonal. So probably not Mexico either. Oh, hang on, it's not... Oh, 50-50? Did they... Oh, they got it. That's a shame. That gives us no info. Oh, help! The... Peru. No. Could it be Brazil? Yes! You have Brazilian Poles. So, Brazilian Poles, is that people with a Polish heritage living in Brazil? What the hell is this? What? Is this like Cambodia or something? Maybe. I didn't expect like a round like this. Oh, hang on, there's a flag. I can't quite see it. Oh, .ph, Philippines. There we go. In the south there are a lot of European descendants. Yeah, but also Polish people? Well, probably at least a few. It's not quite it's not the Indonesian flag. I mean, it's quite difficult to see here, but I did see some blue in it. So I thought maybe it could have been the Thai flag. Well, it wasn't. It was a Philippine flag. There are quite a lot of poles. There are a lot of poles here as well. There's one, which is octagonal, so we're definitely in Mexico. There's another one, which is not octagonal, so we're also not in Mexico. Teach me the ways. You're amazing at this. Well, thank you. The ways is practice. You know, although at this point it was just me reading a sign saying .ph, and I know that that's Philippines. Like, if you want to get good at GeoGuessr, the first thing I would start with is learning the names of all the countries and the flags of all the countries. That already helps a lot. And if you're learning the names, also know roughly at least where they are on a map. So you can quickly find them if you look for them. What the hell is this? This feels like high up in the Andes. Not Argentina then. Someone guessed Chile. Is it Bolivia? No. Crap. Could still be Peru. Ah, it was Peru. I should have gone for it, but it was my last guess, so I kind of hesitated, which was a bad move. Alright, let's go once more, and then we shall do something else. Alright, see ya, Kurtman. Can I pay you to stop saying Chile like that? I mean, there's a subscribe option, but I can't promise anything. I'm not gonna do things for money. At least not things like that. Occidente. I mean, that means west, but in Latin. Hang on. What? I'm confused. Okay. What? What the hell is that? This is like, are we like in San Marino or something? Servicio Público. I'm so confused. Oh, what is be Andorra? No, that's the Colombian flag. What? That was not Spanish. Most of it, at least. What? It said Bogota. I didn't even see that. Hang on. Oh, well, never mind. If that was Spanish, then I just don't know Spanish. Okay, that looks Hungarian. Just gonna go for it. Let's see if I'm right. No, this sign is just empty. Okay, I'm right. That is just an empty sign. Like, that's not very useful. It reminds me of a photo they had on Top Gear of a sign that said sign not in use. Which is just amazing. Or another sign which said secret nuclear bunker that way. I mean, Top Gear is just amazing overall, but like, you know, the Top Gear before Clarkson and co left. But there's a really good clip on YouTube from them, from like their signpost campaign. Just search on YouTube for Top Gear signposts, and they're pretty damn good. Alright, let's see. Well, we're in a lot of countries at once, apparently. That doesn't help. Let's see. Ooh. That feels like sort of French, but not entirely. Are we in Andorra or something? Kind of just want to guess France just in case. I mean, I have 3 guesses, but no one else got it yet, so I'm not in a hurry. I mean, that just looks French. Let's give it a shot. It's not France. Oh, I guessed at the same time as someone else. It's probably Andorran then. Hang on. What's that for flag? Is that the Dutch flag? Or is it the Luxembourgish flag? Probably. Yes. Luxembourg. I know one of the 3 headquarters of the European Union is in Luxembourg, and we might be next to it. That also makes sense with it looks like French, but not quite. Like, Luxembourg is just some weird amalgamation of French and German. Yeah, it's too flat for Andorra. That's also why I didn't go for Andorra, because it just didn't feel right. Ooh, that's a red cycle path for crossing the road. Which is good, because it reminds me of the Netherlands, because we have red cycle paths. Hang on, did it just freeze? We're waiting for the next round to start. Did it do bugs again? Oh, well, it seems to be good. Sometimes just slow connection, I suppose. Nothing wrong with that. Happens now and then, because, you know, on the internet. Okay, forest. Immediately just reminds me of Scandinavia. Well, more like Fennoscandia, which means Finland, Norway and Sweden. Scandinavia is Norway, Sweden and Denmark. But this does not remind me of Denmark at all. Other than that, I don't really have a clue. This could definitely be something else than Fennoscandia. Seems like the others don't really have a clue either. Well, someone agrees with me. I guessed Finland. It's wrong, but at least I'm not the only one. Which is good. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, I thought we got on a bigger road, but well, it seems to be at least on asphalt now. That's good. Oh, there we go. That's a bigger road. Text. Oh, there we go. That's France. No? Route du France. What? It literally says Route du France. Alright, they're all Switzerland. Yes! Okay. Yeah, I also thought it said torture. I did not expect Switzerland to be right. But it was. Kuchen. It feels French. No. German. Oh. I should have just gone for it. I wanted to see like one more thing. But I was... yeah, too hesitant. Well, I've been doing really well. I've gone like... at least like I've gotten to the finals in pretty much every round I've played. Alright, let's go to the main menu. Let's play a map. Do you guys want me to play Netherlands or like diverse worlds? We could also do some explorer mode. Something like that. Let's see, if we go explorer mode. Hang on, start collecting medals. I've already done that. Try Japan. I've got some silver on Japan, which was on stream as well. I think that was 15,000, which was just over the threshold to reach silver. Someone wants... Hang on, wait a minute. Your best score, 15,047. While here it says 16,973. That's... what? That's not right. Netherlands, no moving, panning, zooming. Okay, let me tell you, Netherlands, no moving is impossible. I'll give it a shot, because that's fun. Just to show you why that's extremely impossible. I'll only do no moving, because no moving, panning, zooming is even worse. I didn't click on it right, and now it's not loading. There we go. Seems to be a bit slow at the moment. Like, why is this taking so long? Wow, that really took a long time. Why every time that I stream GeoGuessr something is wrong with it? Like, it didn't even start the game. Like, come on. Work with me here. It's just, what if I try to refresh the site? It's not my internet, because the stream is doing fine. Ugh. Really? GeoGuessr is down. Let's see. Did they tweet about it? Go away with your cookies. Let's hope it'll be finished quickly. Fixed. They have a lot of different aspects now, a lot of different like challenges and stuff, which I'm really... I don't know, let's see if it works now. RCT while we wait. No. At least we could do jet punk quizzes. But in the meantime, I can show you a few more things. Because last time, like not all of you were here, but I'll quickly go for a little recap. I showed you where I grew up, which is... This was my primary school. Well, it still is my primary school, it's just that I don't go there anymore, but you know, it's still a school. And this is the Zwederaweg, where I grew up. And this was my house. Fun fact, I was born in this house. Because a lot of Dutch kids are born at home, which apparently is weird. Like a lot of other countries don't do that. But the website is back for you. Well, it doesn't really seem to be working for me, but whatever. I'll spend like a little while on this. Show the highlights of Groningen. Well, first, I'll show the highlights of Meppel. Let's see, from where would I come into it? Because Meppel is where I went to school. And where I also, not grew up, but, you know, it is an important place for me. Yeah, I partly grew up here. You know, we would be on this road. And then we would cycle to school. Cross the tracks here. And at this point I once saw a kid on a bike being hit by a car. He was fine. Well, I say fine. He had like a little gash on his hand, but and his wrist got a little hurt, I think. But, you know, he was fine. And this road was actually quite well known among us kids for being super slippy whenever there was ice, whenever it froze. So I remember once a friend and I, a very good friend of mine, we came from this side, as we always do, and then we saw, like, walking there with his bike next to him was another friend of ours who came, like, from the right, and that was total coincidence. And we saw him walking because of the ice, and we were still cycling, and then my friend, who was cycling with me, like, fell. His bike just slipped away here, and he just went like, whee! Just right at that moment, perfect timing. And then we all walked on this road, you know, our usual route to school. And then somewhere here, I tried to go cycling again, but that was a bad idea. Because like 20 meters later, I fell right in a little bit of water, which was quite wet and cold, which wasn't the best of ideas. And the other friend who was already walking had fallen before, which is why he was walking. Hang on, is that my local? No, it's line 28, not 32. Line 32 was my local bus. Bus 32. Ah yes, this is good memories. It is still the same. Even though this is from 2021. It's still the same as it was when I went to school. I think, yeah, GeoGuessr is indeed back. We'll do that in a minute. We got snacks here a few times, which was fun. Quite close to school. Here's the station on the left, which is you know, fairly nice building. And, ooh, there's a train there. It's quite a new train. A lot of stuff near me has changed completely. Yeah, near where I live now as well, but here in Meppel, not at all. And then this is the Stationsweg, which means Station Road. And there it is. That was my school. I can now say properly was because it's no longer a school. They have moved to some big ugly building somewhere there. But yeah, this was a great school. Let's see. Somewhere... Yeah, one of like these windows are from the physics classroom. Like... or was it chemistry? I think it was chemistry, actually. A grade school. Did I say... Oh, great. When Dutch women give birth, do they have drugs or do they just do it all natural? I mean, there is a nurse or like someone to help with the birthing. I'm not sure what like they're called in English. There's a word for it, but I can't think of it right now. But midwife, yes. You know, there's someone who's learned for it. So it's all done professionally, but it's just at home. But yeah, this was one of the classrooms. Like, you could have other classes in there as well, but you know, especially like chemistry and physics often had like certain things, certain equipment that couldn't easily be done in other classrooms. And then that very, like you can, this is enters to the lift, but behind that, like you can see a little bit lower, you can see a bridge connecting the two buildings. And right on that bridge is the place where we would always hang out in our breaks and eat our lunch and stuff. And then this building, I had a lot of the classes, not actually in this part, but part behind it, which you can't see. You know, we had a lot of, especially in the lower grades, like class 1, yeah, we call them like class 1, class 2. Class 1 was when you're like 12, I was 11 when I started it, until class 6, when you're 17 or 18. We had like a certain, like all the like English and Dutch and math, like for any class for which you don't need any specific equipment, we always had in the same classroom, which was really easy. And then there behind there you can see the gym we had at school. Then here are the sporting fields, and that's another gym. And then on the other side of the road, actually, this is called, or was called, the pastorie, which also had classrooms. Which we sometimes had, like Dutch and music were given there. Like the music classroom was all the way at the end of the building. And yeah, Zuideinde. It was called location Zuideinde, our school. I think this is pretty nice. You know, you could go into the city. Then we went this way, this way, this way. All the way this way. And we actually... Oh, Cafetaria Henders. I accidentally clicked on that. We've been there a couple of times. You could get like rum milkshakes there, which we weren't supposed to get because we weren't old enough. I never got one, but my friends got one every now and then. There was a Chinese girl in our class, like class 3 and class 4, who went there often. I can't seem to go there, but you know, if you go down further there, you get to a place we often went to. I have a lot of good memories from high school. Are you raised religious? Yes, sort of. I was, you know, I went to church when I was young, and you know, we prayed before dinner, and my dad read out of the Bible after dinner for a while. But I was never really religious myself, and at some point I didn't want to go to church anymore. I was like 10 or 11, and that was just fine. I could just stay home. And my parents, they, you know, said, you know, if you don't want to go, that's fine. But after that, I've been to church a couple of times, just, you know, for special things like Christmas. What's it called again? I forgot what's it called, but like, you know, a church thing. Not ceremony, but mass. No, not mass. It's... I forgot the word. Anyway. Someone wanted to see Groningen. I'll show a bit of Groningen as well. Service, yes. Church service. So... I'll start in the middle of the city. This is... well, we're between the Grote Markt and the Vismarkt now. This is the Grote Markt, which translates to big marketplace. And because it's the biggest marketplace in Groningen. That is the Martini Toren, which is the highest building in Groningen, I think. I'm pretty sure. And probably also the highest in the north of the Netherlands. Drie Gezusters, yeah, that's there somewhere. Can I go there? You can read it, it's right there. I've never been in there, but I heard it's pretty good. Let's see, I think we need to go around. The bus stop. That'll be gone from the Grote Markt soon. I ate... Let's see, where did I go? I think I went to Café Hooghout with my mum recently. Oh, recently, it was on my birthday, so almost 3 months ago. It was pretty good. Let's see, oh, somewhere here. Yeah, here you have The End, which is my favorite karaoke bar. Also the only one I've ever been to. Still my favorite. Is that donut place still there? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know a donut place. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, I can show you the university campus, which is pretty cool. Let's see, you enter from here. It's called the Zernike campus. And that is the Aletta Jacobshal, where you take... Well, there's one very big lecture hall there, which I've been in a few times, but it's mostly an exam hall. There's quite a few exam halls, exam rooms. And then this is called, this building is called the Nijenborg, which is absolutely massive. Like, it's not very tall, but it goes, like, it just keeps going. If you had to be, like, all the way at the back of the Nijenborg, like, you come from this blue building, which is called the Bernoulliborg. They're all named after, like, physicists and stuff. And you enter, like, somewhere there. And you had to walk, like, very far. Hang on, if I go to maps and you can see how big the building is. Like, you would enter here. You would walk from, like, there's the entrance there, and you would walk, like, this way, you would enter here. Then you have to walk this way, and then all the way through all these buildings, and then this way, and then somewhere down in the basement, you'd have, like, a tutorial or something. Let's see, do we have... We have a photo here. Ah, yes, the Bernoulliborg, where I've had probably the most fun classes, and there's, like, a very nice space to work there. There you have the Linnaeusborg, which I've actually been here 2 days ago. Not on the campus, but on some kind of road behind there. I was walking with a friend who lives near here. The Linnaeusborg is quite an oddly shaped building, as you can see. But I quite like it. I haven't been in there too much. It's mostly biology stuff, which I didn't do. And then behind that you got, like, the Marie Kamphuisborg, which is from the University of Applied Sciences, which isn't a real university. Like, this is all from the university, and then everything, like, behind here is from the, well, we call it HBO, which stands for Higher Job Education, sort of. Pure Groningen. Let's see if it still exists. Apparently it does. On the Vismarkt. Let's see. I think it's... Yeah, you can see the donuts there. So this was from 2018. So I don't know if it still exists, but it existed still in 2018. Yeah, this is the fish market, which I don't really like to be at because I don't like the smell of fish. And this is all fish stuff. Well, that isn't, but you know, this is fish. I don't like fish. By the way, I ate at a restaurant somewhere here. It's... hang on. Oh, it's more that way. Which was... no, it's not Sumo. Hang on. It was somewhere here, wasn't it? Oh, it was... pretty sure it was this place, but it was called Sumo. It must have been renamed recently then. At least it was this place and it was really good. It's one of those restaurants where you like order little, like small bits of food in several rounds. Imagine if Google Maps caught you on camera. I know someone who's on camera on Google Maps. I might be as well, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a car, but maybe... yeah, tapas, but it's all like sushi and stuff and fried stuff. Alright, we've seen enough of Groningen for now. We can, you know, look at more at later. Let's do the Netherlands without moving. Let's show how impossible it is. Okay. So, we got a street here. It's just Rova. It's just, like the brand of thing. That's unreadable, but that just says WhatsApp bird prevention or something like that. It's not really, wouldn't be useful. So, where could this be? This could be literally anywhere in the Netherlands. Except, I suppose, like the south of Limburg, because that's hilly. This could be anywhere. Like, that's unreadable. Like, I think there's like 60 or 80 or something. This could be anywhere. That's the problem. The Netherlands looks the same. Almost everywhere. Not quite, but... I don't know. Let's go somewhere in Arnhem. Nope, it was Amersfoort. Well, I wasn't too far away, but... you still got only 1700 of the 5000 points if you're 40 kilometers away, because the Netherlands is quite small. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, look at this. This could be anywhere as well. Hey, there's a place there. If I knew, like, I think the place is not everywhere in the Netherlands. Because I'm not sure. And I don't know where it would be. Like, there's one in my local village. Like, where my parents live now. But I don't know if it's only here in the north. That's not a provincial flag. It's only in the northern part of NL. Well, this made me think of Groningen anyway. What's the sign on that bridge? Smidsdraai. I mean, that's the river probably. Or the name of the bridge. But that didn't really help me. Even if it was the canal. It's not a river, it's a canal. It wouldn't really help me much. I wouldn't be able to figure out where we are. But Kangi, you say Friesland. Did you Google it or did you know it? Thank you for the follow, by the way, Emroep. Looks like the famous place is the boats and the canals. No, it's not Giethoorn. Giethoorn doesn't have these roads. It's only canals. You know it. Why do you know it? But it's a guess. You know it, but it's a guess. Alright, let's try... let's see, that's too big. Let's try Verga. It's... oh, Appelscha. Well, Major Geeks, you were right. But I would have never gotten that, because draai is Frisian. I didn't know that. And even then, Appelscha, that was just a guess. Although, quite a good one. I've been in Appelscha. Play next round. Well, welcome to Round Impossible. Unless you actually know where this is. This looks quite drenched, but this could be anywhere still. But like this stuff looks quite familiar. Actually, I'm gonna say that this is probably Drenthe. It just feels Drents to me. But other than that, there aren't a lot of clues here. There's no text. There's no kind of sign or mark or flag. There's that sign, but that's not readable. And other than that, it's only a street name. So I'm gonna go Borger. Nope. It is Wolfswinkel, Gentia, whatever exactly, somewhere here. Okay. That's not readable. That says NNRL? Slavernij. But that means slavery. That's some kind of protest thing or whatever. I don't know. Poster. Zomer in Artis. Oh hey, that's a clue. Artis is the zoo of Amsterdam. So maybe we are in Amsterdam. I mean, finding out where in Amsterdam. That might be the Amsterdam flag. Actually. This monument, if I knew where this monument was, that would help. But this is the first time I've ever seen this monument. And there's not really any other clues. HVA sign? What is HVA? You live there and I mean, Amsterdam is big. There's a bus there. Oh, hey. Oh, HVA is your old college. Okay, let's guess somewhere in Amsterdam. Guess there. That's the highway. Let's guess there. Nope, right on the other side. Oh, there's HVA there. Oh, this is literally on the campus. So you see, I got the right city, which I did all on my own without any of your help, but I still got only 3,600 points. So that's still losing like almost a third of what you can get, at least more than a quarter. There's a sign there. It says the N262. Is that Roosendaal, I think? I know where that is. That's right here. And the N262 is here as well. Okay, so we can read that. I think that says exit 24. Do we have exit numbers on here? I don't think we do. No, that doesn't have an exit number, which is unfortunate. I don't know what else it says, but it doesn't really matter, because the N262 is only here, so we know we're quite close. And we're in some kind of village. Hang on, we might be able to do this perfectly. Oh, it's the exit from the highway. Oh, you're right. That means it's here. Oh yeah, 24. That means... Hang on, I think it says like 800 meters? Oh, that's probably this road. Yeah. I think we're there. Yes. I'm pretty sure we're right there. Does that work? No, that doesn't. That doesn't work. We're on we're next to a fairly big road. But that road's making a sharp turn to the left. And it comes from a turn to the right. And that sharp turn to the left is what I'm missing here. So it can't be that. Oh, hang on. Which direction is that? Wait, we don't... Oh, we have a compass at the top. Let me get the other compass, please. There we go. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we are on this side of the highway. Not, like, here. Like, we're not somewhere there. So we are somewhere here. Oh, hang on. We do have a turn to the left there. Also, it's not only a turn. No, it is only a turn. It doesn't go straight through. Do we have any kind of... I can't see on which road I am, right? No, that's unreadable. Although it is a long road name. I do know that. We can see that. But I don't know quite. Like, it's not there, but that's about the only thing. Or is it even further back? Like, is it somewhere here? But that doesn't make sense. I don't know. You see, that's really difficult, even now pinning this down. And like, we must be really close to the highway, right? Like, yeah, it's literally there. We're much closer to the highway than this. We must be like there or something. There was a bus stop behind you. There. Yes. Like, is that there? Are we like here? But it doesn't make sense. Or have the streets been changed and are these photos just old? More to the west, you think? You mean like all the way here? Well, not there definitely. That's too far away. I honestly don't know. There's an S-band, that could be it. It's not quite an S, doesn't quite work. This can't be there, right? East of the hospital, maybe there's a bus sign there. Where's the hospital? I don't know, but like here. But if we are here, we could never see the sign on the highway. Like, that's way too far away. That, like, we're quite close to it. Like, it's literally there. There's a few houses between us and the highway. So, we are, like, somewhere there. Or that's how close we are to the highway. It's a big red spot to the west. Oh, that's the hospital. Oh, you mean here? Oh, that does work. Yeah, that might be, because there's two roads here next to each other. Yeah, you have the sharp bend here. Yeah, this is perfect. Let's guess. 17 meters. 5,000 points. Oh, we did it, guys. I told you it was impossible. It was not quite impossible. I probably would not have done this on my own, but with your help, we did it. This was pretty cool. And I mean, I said impossible. Obviously, I knew some locations would be possible, but let's face it. A perfect score, or even anything close to a perfect score, is pretty much impossible with no moving in the Netherlands. Let alone no moving, zooming and panning, which someone suggested as well. Because that's just absolute torture, isn't it? Teamwork. Yes, teamwork is fun. Do you guys want to do some more teamwork? You know, let's try this again with teamwork. That was fun. We're not gonna go for a perfect score, but that's fine. Toerit dicht. Okay, that doesn't help us anything. Van Venrooy. That doesn't help us either. Okay, what does that say? Can't quite read that. Other than that, we have a highway there. But there are a lot of highways in the Netherlands. This is the on-ramp. And the off-ramp. We are on the off-ramp, actually. There are quite a few locations we can't. There, like, all the signs are like turned away from us. Except the one useless one, which is also temporary. This doesn't help us much. Not at all. I'm just gonna guess somewhere. Like there. Not bad. Let's see what the next round brings us. We are. Does it say 3.6? Well, it doesn't say a road. We can look up administrative documents to know when the road was closed. You don't even know when the picture was taken. Yeah, this is impossible. There's no clue here. Let's go there. Ah, not too bad. Alright, enough of this. Because this is just random gambling. You'd like to see me try a US map? Well, let's do that. Let's see if I can do gold, finally. I'm gonna do with moving, obviously. But 3-minute time limit, because that's how I always do it. And let's see if I can do gold. That'll be fun. Alright. Kimball Road. That doesn't really give me any clues. I'm not going to use the chat this time. Because I want to get gold all on my own. Last time, not last time, but my best score was pretty close to gold. It had 4 really good guesses and 1 terrible one. I presume, hang on, this just says no passing or whatever. Oh, no stopping or standing. That doesn't help me much. Except like that's a sign only used in one state. Oh, hang on. JCT9. Isn't that just the Highway 9? I don't know what JCT would stand for. First Energy Park, Lakewood, School Bus. Like I could find Highway 9 probably. It's probably pretty long though. Probably need some other clues to get some kind of good guess. Does that say anything? Oh, hang on. North Mile 101. Jersey Central. So are we in New Jersey then? Do we have a Highway 9 here? Oh, we do! Okay. Let's see. Does that say... village... I need some kind of village name. Oh, hang on. The 88 East. So that's a local highway. Let's see if I can find it. Are the numbers going up? They are somewhat going up. Oh, they're also going down now. Let's see if I can find the 88. Oh, there are a lot of... Am I still following... Oh, there's the 9. There's still the 9. Hang on, that's the 9A. I hope I'm still in New Jersey. I keep losing track of the 9. 9 West, that's the 9. There's the 82, you know what, let's place it here. Is this still New Jersey? No, it's not. Not even close. Hell. Or is it somewhere here? Oh, well, that was pretty good. Oh, JCT means junction. Highway 9 is going to be a state highway, not interstate. Now, there's a difference. You have interstates, which are these big like blue and red things, but you also have the highways, which are also like countrywide. You have also state highways, which is an even lower level, but this 9 is like a proper US highway. So I knew that would only be one of them. Probably. Maybe sometimes two. Also Lakewood on the sign near the river. Yeah, I didn't realize that would be the city name. Because Lakewood seems very generic to me. I didn't think it would be the name of the city. But I'm pretty happy with this. This is above the average that I need to get to gold, which is 4,500, because you need 22,500. So let's go next round. Okay, this is a big road. Oh, there's a sign there which I want to see. We're on the 46? What? That's a diamond. Hang on. Gaston and Garysburg. Well, at least we know what we are close to, but it doesn't really help me, because I don't know what the diamond stands for. This feels like some kind of northern state. Or there might also be like Texas. At least like the Great Plains or something. But there's a big sign there. Maybe that says a city I recognize. That says nothing. Thank you, USA. Okay, that's the same thing. Like, the diamond makes me think this is a state highway, but I don't know which state. Oh, the 158. Oh, Roanoke Rapids. I know where Roanoke is. It's like an island somewhere here. But that doesn't mean that it's actually here. The 158, I believe that's an offshoot of the 58. Okay, hang on, there's the 64. There's the 70, so the 58 must be above that. There's the 50. Oh, there's the 250. 158. Oh, Roanoke Rapids. 2 miles. Oh, hey, that helps. Okay, so we must be right on this stretch, right? Between Weldon and Garysburg. What was it? Like Garysburg, half a mile? Yeah, Gaston and Garysburg, half a mile, which is to the north. Wow, this highway is going pretty much to the north. So we must be here then. Otherwise, we're like on this bit? Otherwise it doesn't make sense. We're going pretty much bang on north-south. And then if we go south, we make a slight turn to the right. Yeah, so we're probably like somewhere there. And we were on state 46. I don't know if I can find that. Oh, hang on, that's there. Oh, we must be there then. Okay. Like somewhere there. I don't know. Oh. We were actually on the 95? Well, I was pretty close. The only reason I got this is because I know... Well, I could have probably done the highways anyway, but I know that Roanoke, because the lost colony of Roanoke. I saw a video about that. From the channel... I think it was... What's it called? Lemmy now? Might also be Chill Fuel, I'm not sure. But one of, you know, kind of mystery... like storytelling YouTube channels about tales of history and stuff, mystery tales. And I knew that was somewhere here, which helped me locate it really quickly. Lost colony, they just went to live with the natives on the Croatoan island. Yeah, probably. But yeah, it was called the Lost Colony of Roanoke in the video, so that's what I remember it as. Alright, let's have a drink of water. Before we continue, we're doing very well. Michigan's Diamond 2. I'll try to remember that. I probably won't, but I'll try. Okay. See if I can get out of... Oh, Colorado. Well, that helps. Colorado Cascade. Cascade is probably not the name of the city, because this would be a weird way to word it. But we're probably in Colorado. I mean, cars can drive, but, you know, at least near Colorado then. Okay, we're allowed to go 45 miles an hour here. That doesn't really help much. Just trying to say something to fill the space. In the meantime, when I can't find any clues. Really terrible camera quality, like first generation camera every now and then. Route 67, some kind of peak. I mean, Colorado is very mountainous, so that does sort of, well, prove, but more evidence that we are indeed in Colorado. Let's keep going this way. See if we can find something that's of interest to us. Maybe like, I don't know, crossing with an interstate or something like that. Or a sign which has, I don't know, Denver 2 miles that way. Would be particularly useful. Ooh, that is a big crossing. Okay, the Colorado 470. Alright, let's just see if I can... Hang on, what does that say? Okay, we're in Littleton on the Colorado 470. Can I quickly find Littleton? No, I can't. Does Colorado have any kind of logic to its road system? I'm just gonna look for Littleton. I think that's quicker. I might have already accidentally skipped it, but whatever. Not much I can do about that. Can't find it. I don't have a lot of time. It might also not be on the map at the moment. I don't know, I'm gonna put it there. Oh! Damn! Haha! Put it in quite a good spot. At the very end. There's a phone number on the van with a Denver area code. I mean, like I know Denver area codes. I love pointing to my screen when I see the town, even though it does nothing. I know, I do that as well when, you know, I watch videos of other YouTubers and stuff. You were literally 5 miles from my house. Oh, that's cool. So Littleton is a part of Denver in the south. Well, I did pretty well. So far, we're doing really good. I'm on track for gold, but let me stress, there's a very good chance that this goes all to pot when you just get one impossible round. We got 2 rounds to go. So, I hope that it's doable, but it might not be. Alright, this looks like a round that should be doable. That doesn't tell me anything. Let's go this way. It might just be like an endless road with basically no clues. Road construction ahead. Or maybe the road construction, like vehicles and stuff, have the name of the state on them. Something like that. What did that say? That doesn't say anything. Okay, this seems like a big road. Hang on, what does that say? Adopt the highway, litter control and shot. No, that doesn't say anything like a state name or whatever. Well, let's continue this way. Towards the roadworks, apparently. Some of you might already recognize the state. I don't. Although I'm thinking of something like maybe upstate New York. Hang on, what is that? What did that say? There's like a sign here. This is only pedestrians. I haven't really got any clue other than that I currently would go for upstate New York for not really much reason. And that might be so... Oh, the road here looks absolutely terrible. Maybe it's West Virginia. I'm just hoping to see some kind of state name or big city name that I know of. But chances are bleak. Or some road that I can quickly find. But probably not. No, that doesn't say anything either. 50 seconds left. Home to Trojans, I have no idea. Cary Grove High School, yeah, that doesn't tell me anything. I think it's probably east of the Mississippi. Like east of the Great Plains. Hang on, did that just say Texas? Or did I just... I think I was wrong on that. 15 seconds. Let's put it... You know what, let's put it in Virginia. See how close I am. I was entirely wrong. Well, there goes our chance at the golden. Because this can happen. This can happen pretty... Yeah, this is what can happen in the US, easily. It was north of Chicago. In one of the endlessly built up areas. Yeah, basically any town USA. Okay, so you know the channel Wendover Productions. They make videos about, you know, how grocery chain supply works and, you know, why shipping is broken, like global shipping, and I explain that, and a lot of like aeroplane videos, like flying and stuff. They recently made a video about why the US is looking the same everywhere. And they started with like one of the Stroads in somewhere like in this area. I'm not sure which city, but like Charlotte or whatever. But and then they like had lots of different shots of that Stroad, and I was convinced that it was all the same Stroad, but they were all like all 6 shots or whatever, all from different towns all over the US, and I couldn't tell the difference. And apparently some Americans in the comments couldn't either. I think it's his latest video. It's pretty good. Alright, let's go one more round. Maybe I can do a high score. Probably not though, but maybe we can at least go out on a high. Let's see. No, well that's 1075, but on a truck, that doesn't say anything to me. This looks very rural and very poor, which immediately makes me think of West Virginia, because I know it's a very poor state, or like Mississippi or Alabama, something like that. Maybe like Florida. It's probably hang on. There's a lot of evergreens here. It's probably more northern. Maybe it's Alaska. Or no, like Montana, Idaho. I don't know, there's a lot of places that it could still be. Okay, there's a sign here. That doesn't really help me. Baptist Church, Holmes Bay. I don't know where Holmes Bay is. I've never heard of it. Okay, we're in Whiting. Settled 1785. It's probably not Alaska. I think that was probably settled later. Alaska might also be more, I don't know, cold. If only Americans were as proud of their state as they were of their country. There would be state flags everywhere. And then I would surely learn them all. Like, I know about half of them now. But if there were state flags everywhere, I would have learned them all by now. The reason I don't know half is because they're all the same. Stupid seal on blue. That doesn't tell me anything. Okay, this is probably gonna be another random guess. So we're gonna have 2 bad rounds, unless I get very lucky. Most likely not. It's just an endless road with no info. Basically nothing here. Like a few houses and that's it. Okay, 14 seconds. Let's place down a guess. Let's go, I don't know, northern Minnesota. And what should be correct? Okay, you are saying Maine. Well, it's too late for that now. It's indeed Maine. It's very close to Canada. It's right there. That sign a bit ago literally said Maine. Well, I didn't see it. I mean, it's me against 80 of you. The chance that some of you see something that I don't is pretty big. Well, we had 3 pretty damn good rounds. And then we had 1 bad round and 1 terrible round. It's not even like that terrible. It's not like guess California and be in Maine or something like that. But it's not good either. That's the problem with the US. Sometimes it's not that difficult, but sometimes you just get endless roads, and I suppose that was doable at least Maine, but like this one especially, it was basically any town USA. Let's do Mexico. Okay, I've got bronze on Mexico. Almost 10,000 points. Let's see what I can do in Mexico. I loved it when you said because cars can drive. Yeah, this is basically, you know, if you, because especially in the European Union, it's a big thing. If you see on the highway like a truck that has a website ending in like .cz, it doesn't mean you're in Czechia, because especially trucks drive all over Europe. So you can still be anywhere. Like I once thought I was in Latvia because the only clue was a truck that said .lv, and it turned out to be France. So yeah. Okay, let's do Mexico. Or as they say it in Mexico, Mexico. Hang on. Why does this sign disappear when I go that way? That's stupid. Okay, I only know of a few cities. You have like Guadalajara, Mexico City, Monterrey, and Cancun. And that's all I know. And like, I know what a highway shield looks like here. So yeah, I don't know a lot about Mexico. What do these signs say? They're all about maximum speed. It doesn't help me at all. I can't tell the difference between northern and southern, although the north is probably more deserty. That's a guess. This looks like... Yeah, there's a cactus there, so this is quite arid. So I'm guessing we're at least like in the northern half of the US. Or US, Mexico. Other than that, I don't really have any clue. Okay, there's a green sign there, which probably has like cities and stuff on it. Oh, we're on the 40. Let's see if I can find the 40. Oh, there we go. Or at least, okay, we're on this highway then. So 40 stopped there, now it continues there. Okay, we've got Reynosa, Los Ramones, and El Carrizo. Forgive my pronunciation. And it's Rosario. See if I can find any of those. Oh, there's Reynosa. Okay, so probably somewhere there. Okay, and then El Carrizo and stuff are on like the sideways. Oh, there's Los Ramones. They're probably there. Let's see. Like I said, forgive my pronunciation of all things Spanish. Okay, we're crossing with the 15 here. So we're there, but we're coming from the left. So we're a bit more that way. Okay, this is going slightly to the northeast. So yeah, we're somewhere there. Let's see when we come across. Okay, there are some buildings here, which we are quite close to. Which is probably there. Oh, hang on, that bend isn't there. Okay. Well, 3.1 kilometers. I'm pretty happy with that. This could have gone a lot worse. So yeah, let's do next round. Okay, there's a sign there. It just... Oh, I thought it just appeared, but I went under it. Okay. Say no to Maya. I don't know what that means, but it's 30 kilometers... Oh, there's a highway shield there. Can I... The 180, probably. Yes. Okay, we're on the Mexico 180. And it's a lot more rainforesty, so we're probably somewhere in the south. In the south? Oh, found it. Let's see if I can find Say No to Maya. It goes along the entire coast. Well, at least I know to stick to the coast then. And Say No to Maya is 30 kilometers away. If it's an actual city or something like that, I don't know. Okay, the 180 continues going here. Oh, there's all the way to Cancun. I don't think Say No to Maya is an actual city. Maybe it's like some Maya, like that shit needs some. Maybe it's something like that. Some Mayan thing. Oh, hang on, there's a sign here. In the bushes. Something that ends with max is 25 kilometers away. That doesn't help me too much, I think. No. And I can't read the other thing. Well, let's continue onwards. Let's see if maybe find some other signs. This is definitely very jungly. I wouldn't instantly think Mexico, because Mexico is still associated with desert in my mind. You know what, let's see if there's the other way, any kind of sign. Maybe that would help. 1 minute left. Okay, there is a sign here. But I can't get to it. Like, the street... Oh, street food doesn't end there. Does it just not have a road? Okay, it's something with Tulu. And Korra. Korra. Legend of Korra. Good show. I don't know, I'm gonna keep it here, because it feels like we're somewhat inland. might be the best I can do. And this is only 180. Yeah. 52 kilometers. Not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, we weren't on the 180 actually. But not too bad this. We're doing quite well for silver actually. Okay. Okay, we're on the 15. And we're on kilometer 135. Alright, let's find the 15. Definitely deserty. Okay, there's the 16. 14. Okay, found the 15. Where does it start? It starts there. No, it starts all the way there. So we're probably somewhere there. Unless it starts at the other way of the 15. But I don't think so. Because that wouldn't be as deserty. Although we're going north. Well, let's keep going north. See if we can find a sign, a road sign. I don't really know where the desert starts and ends in Mexico, to be honest. So I shouldn't... yeah, this isn't suddenly a lot greener. So it might still be on the other side. Actually, if we're going to the north and we're on mile 135, then we're probably started in the south. Let's see. Hang on, is it still mile 1? Okay, it's 136. Yeah, it counts up. So then we started in the south. So we're about 135 miles away from where the 15 starts. Okay, where's the 15? There's 15D. There's still 15. 15. That's still 15D. Suppose. Okay, there's the 15 still. 15 just keeps on going. There's still the 15. Oh, is it the 150? That's the 150D. I think I found the start of the 15. Yeah, in Mexico City. That makes a lot of sense. So then we're probably... like, what's 135 kilometers? I'm gonna guess here. Because we're going north-south. I'm gonna guess we're somewhere there. Because most of that highway is going east-west. If that's correct, then I'm pretty impressed with myself. Let's see what's on that sign. Probably nothing of importance. No. The green signs are the ones with cities and stuff on them. In Mexico. Seconds. Probably not going to find anything more of interest. There's another white sign which probably says the same. It doesn't say the same, but it's the same amount of useful, aka not at all. Okay, let's see what you're going to say. The 15 starts in the USA. Well, it also starts down. Ah, I was wrong. It was on the other side of the 15. Mexico uses kilometers. Alright, it does, but it doesn't really matter. Because I would have done the same anyway. But we were going north and the kilometers were going up. That doesn't make sense. Right? Because if we're going north and the kilometers are going up, then surely we start on the south side. Because it's not like this is only 136 kilometers. Or was it measuring from the city Hermosillo or something? I don't know. Oops. Does the kilometer marker reset at the state border? Maybe. I have no idea how it works in Mexico. We can still go for silver though. Let's see. Marina, that's... Is that a city? Bayview Grande. That says... I don't know what that sign was supposed to say, but I don't know. Let's see what this says. Zihuatanejo! I know that! I know it's on the Pacific coast, because Shawshank Redemption. It's where Andy went. Let's see if I can find it. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's in the... Probably not in the Bahia. Let's go down the coast here. See if I can find it. Oh, there it is. 20 kilometers to Zihuatanejo. And that's the Pente Panila. The river. What does this say? Ah, that says something like that. Okay, Zihuatanejo is 20 kilometers and we're going north. So we might be like on some of these roads. Is this the river? Probably not, but it doesn't even have a name apparently. Hang on, what did it say at the start? Oh, marina. Right. Well, let's go this way. Oh, what does it say here? Oh, that's the Panila again, or whatever did it say. Still got a minute left. But there's a big sign there. Let's see what it says. That's not useful. Well, it says beach resort, so we're probably still quite near the coast. Punta El Sendial. I probably misread that. We're probably really quite near the coast. I think we're not on like the 200. It feels smaller than that. We're like somewhere there. I don't know. Let's see. I think that's the best I can do. That seems to be about 20 kilometers. Oh, we were... It's on the way to the north of Zihuatanejo. Yeah, I completely misjudged that probably. Oh, we were on the 200 actually. Well, it's still a pretty good score, because, you know, close to Zihuatanejo. That's quite a funny thing to know. Because if you haven't watched Shawshank Redemption, but yeah, he actually goes to Zihuatanejo at the end of the film. And well, Red remembered it, and I remembered it too. I didn't know it was a real... Well, presumably it would be a real place, but I never thought about it. That it would like come up here. That's cool. Okay, last round. I need more than 1026 points to get silver. Or at least 1027. Yeah, means the same. It's like in programming when you have like... You do something like x over y needs to be at least 2 or more than 2, and you accidentally use the wrong operator and that messes up your entire program. That once cost me like half an hour in an exam because I had that wrong. It was very annoying. It probably cost me a perfect score, a 10 on the exam. Well, only a 9.4, which I was disappointed with. Because I did 7 practice exams, and on all of them I got a 10 out of 10. Well within the allowed time. And then on the actual exam I couldn't do it, because I wasted a lot of time on one exercise, and the other exercise I only got wrong because I misread it. I interpreted it wrong. Now if it just continues going like this, then I might not get the silver at all if I just guess entirely wrong. I have a feeling this is relatively northern, because it feels like somewhat arid. So far I'm gonna at least put it in the north. But yeah, I don't really have any clue. It's a very long straight road going almost dead on north-south. There's nothing here that really gives me any clue of any sort of place in Mexico. And the previous one would have been pretty much impossible as well if I didn't know where Zihuatanejo was. If I hadn't heard of it. Like, there's not like... If you have like a road, you can look for it. There is like a big city, and you know the big cities, which is something you can reasonably be expected to know. You can look for it. But if the only reason you know a place because there's some small village you coincidentally have heard of, then it's not really using your GeoGuessr skill to do it. It's just coincidence. And this road's not gonna allow me to use my GeoGuessr skills either. Because, nothing. 20 seconds left. Ah, hey, there's some water on the road. It's the first exciting thing we've seen in a long time. Let's put it here, like there. Maybe a little bit more to the south. Alright, let's hope that we got at least... Yes! I did it! We did silver! Somewhere in the middle. I did silver, right? Yes, I got silver! 15,727, which is almost as good as my score on the USA. Honestly, I got 3 pretty good scores. The first 2 rounds I was able to fully use my GeoGuessr skills, like finding road numbers and stuff, and big cities and stuff like that. The third one was just a fail, the fourth one was a coincidence, and the fifth one was a lucky guess. I'm pretty happy with this. I didn't expect to get a good score here. But yeah, I improved my Explorer mode. Silver on Canada, silver on the US, silver on Mexico. By the way, I recently did Latvia for the first time as well. I got bronze. And Latvia is actually pretty damn impossible because all the signs were blurred. Like, I got 1 good round, and that's because I was able to read a little bit of one sign from like one angle, and it happened to be some road numbers that I could find. On the other place, there were just either just impossible tiny villages or just blurred signs everywhere. Isn't Latvia the middle one? Yeah, I mean Lithuania. Sorry. I named that wrong. You also play streaks. Not really. Like, you mean country streaks and stuff. Problem with country streaks is that if you allow moving, then it's too easy. But if you don't allow moving, you sometimes just get, like fairly often, get really impossible rounds. Which is annoying. Or you should do like moving with 30 seconds or whatever. But that's just too fast paced for my taste. Which rhymes, which is nice. So, I don't really like streaks. But let's actually see, because there's a lot of interesting things going on here. If we go career, like, there's city streaks. Let's give city streaks a go. I think I have to guess which city we are in. I've done this before, but when it was just freshly introduced. Entrada. Is that Italian? Energie Medic. Catalunya. Is that Catalonia? Oh, then we're in Barcelona. Okay, I just guessed Barcelona correctly. I don't really know how this works. I seem to have 3 lives and I'm on a streak of 1. But others are guessing like differently from me. Okay, is that Hebrew? And Arabic? Yeah, that must be Israel. Tel Aviv. It's also on how fast you go. Aha. This feels... Hang on, that's the Swedish flag. So that means we're in Stockholm. You can see your position on the top left. Okay, I'm second apparently. This feels American. Okay, but there are quite a few American cities. Maybe I should use some lives on this. Because otherwise this might take a while. Hang on. AC on. Oh, hang on. That's Canada. We're in Vancouver. Wait, it's not oh, there's not a Canada city. Toronto then. Thought I was in the US. That city, but it turned out to be in Canada. Hang on. This feels oddly close to home. Is there... Njálsgata. That's... I'm gonna say Iceland? Yes! Reykjavik. Oh, there's the Halmskirka. I completely mispronounced it. I've been there. Singapore, I think. Oh, Kuala Lumpur then. No, not Kuala Lumpur. I was going too fast. Oh, Bangkok. Because that was Thai stuff. This is also pretty fast paced, but I'm doing well, except that Timma guy or girl is going way too fast for everyone. Like 9 and I got 6 and it's 5, 5, 4, 4, 2. Does this... Oh, apparently it's about to end. Let's try one last... I'm just gonna guess cities. Okay, I didn't get one other. Oh, this is interesting. So, I ended up in 3rd place. Someone passed me right at the end. Which is why I panic guessed to get another one right. But I didn't get it. I'm unranked and I have to do 2 more games to be ranked. Let's try again. Let's see if I can do better than 3rd place. This is so much better than it was when I first played it. When I first played it, it was pretty awful. It was, I believe it didn't even have rounds. It just kept on going forever and ever and ever. But this is a lot more fun now. But it seems like we need to get some more people. There we go. It seems like not a lot of people are playing it though. Counter-Guessr is also quite fun. Yeah, I was thinking of doing a distance streak in a minute as well. Which is similar to Counter-Guessr. Like, it has a very similar setup. Except every round, the person who is the furthest away is deleted. Or deleted, kicked out. You can have up to 10 people, but it doesn't seem to fill up. So, it doesn't seem to be very popular. And then people are leaving because it's not starting. Literally what I explained. But okay, we got 8 people now. 9 people, 8 people. Okay, we got 10 people. That is Bangladesh. Okay. That is Hebrew. Oh, didn't click right. Like, I know it instantly, I'm just not fast enough with the clicking and the looking around. This looks... Hang on. Attenzione, Collegio, this looks Italian. Oh, there's no Italian. Then I'm going... That? Yes. Madrid. Spanish. We're going way too fast. Everyone else. Rice University? What are they doing there? Studying rice. I still don't know where we are though. There's a center in something. Feels very American. How many American cities are there? Okay, let's go Houston. Yes. Oh, we're 2, like Canada counts America as well. Okay, this is definitely European. Hang on, this could be like Central European. How many cities are there? Oh, a lot. Let's try Prague. No. Riga. Oh. Okay. Hang on. That looks French. Let's try Brussels. Yes! I'm doing fairly well, I think. I'm in 5th. People are good at this. And I'm unranked. So, even in unranked people are good. That's Cyrillic. Let's try this city. Whatever that is. No, not Novosibirsk. Bulgaria. Yes. Well, Sofia. America. Because the road is like 10 miles wide. How many cities are there in America? Okay, there's Houston, Toronto. It's probably like the US. But I'm not sure. Oh, time's up. I don't think I can ever know what this is unless one of you can tell me right now. Okay, your streak ended at 7. Well, that's better than last time, but everyone else did better as well. So I was 6th instead of 3rd. Let's do this once more. I find this fun. Because you don't need to know exactly where you are. You just need to roughly and hope that, you know, one of the cities aligns. It's a shame that they're going to remove this, because nowadays it is actually fun. But maybe they messed it up so badly that everyone has terrible memories from it and doesn't want to play it anymore. Like at the start. I don't know where this could be though. Feels like... I don't know. I honestly don't know what it feels like. I was gonna say Europe, but it also feels like America. Oh, hang on, we're driving on the left. Okay, that's probably Australia. Or New Zealand. There we go. Next. What the... Oh, that's the Burj Khalifa. We're on the Burj Khalifa. Okay, that's cool. Don't get HIV. That's a pretty good tip. Oh, Mbabane. We're in Mbabane, capital of Eswatini. Feels Asian. Let's see what kind of cities we got. Alright, let's go here. Is that it? No. I was too quick there. Oh, it's... Hang on, did it say Manhattan? Okay, we got Spanish. But... Okay, you know what? Let's just power through this. Let's do Colombia. Okay, it was Bogota. Could have been Mexico City as well. I didn't know, but I guessed. Gambled. I feel like this is French. Yes. Let's go Paris. Yes. Like, it was a gamble between Paris and Brussels, but if you need to gamble a bit here. It's all fast-paced and stuff. Yes, it wasn't really my thing, but I do like it. Okay, this feels... Yeah, this feels Japanese. There's no Japanese city on the list, so... That's definitely wrong then. Okay, we are driving on the left though. And it says... Cassia Drive. Okay, we must be probably in Cape that? No. Like, this is not Ireland, right? Hang on, where can this be? Oh. Oh, I'm already in City Division Tier 4. Yeah, probably it was probably the Malaysian city. Probably in Kuala Lumpur. I think that's the only city in Malaysia they got, probably. I'm already at rank 46 of 100, which is, I think, decently high. Well, rank 4. Like Division 4. Which, I skipped the first 3, probably because it is fairly well. Let's do it again. I like it too much. I hope you guys like it too. I mentioned that I do realize the chat is a bit quiet, so do you guys like this? Like watching this? Or would you guys prefer me to do something else? Maybe it's just not as conductive to chatter as usual. Hi, you guys are having a good time. Good. I think I did see that we were in America because it said speed limit 15. That's probably miles per hour. Yeah, because that's really slow for kilometers an hour. All GeoGuessr is nice. Yeah, I know you like GeoGuessr. This feels like the traffic lights feel American again. Big American city. Let's go there. It was Vancouver, but that's still America. College Canada, okay. Again Canada. Sometimes you gotta get a bit lucky and look at the right thing. Buffet Esplanada. This feels Spanish. Let's go Madrid. Portugal. There you go. I don't really know how many lives... Do I just have 3 lives or are they refilled at some point? That's the Albanian flag, I believe. Nope. There's no Albanian city. Oh, this looks very Nordic. But I don't... those aren't country flags. I should have known that it just doesn't look Albanian. What's that? That's a weird G. Oh, that's the Icelandic flag. Reykjavik. Holy damn, that's a city. Wow. That's an incredible view. I don't care that I'm not that fast. I just want to take a little bit of it in. It's also... It's probably Bolivia. There we go. I thought that because it had a K in the name. And I read that the K is probably Bolivia when you're in South America. Okay, that's Portuguese. Hang on, is this Europe or is this South America? Feels European. Nope, then South America. Okay, I'm already on 7, which is a new... no, I was have 7 last time as well. Feels like Singapore. So this Kuala Lumpur. Close enough. I got a new record. Oh! It was Singapore, I'm pretty sure, but I just didn't have enough time to click. I almost got 9. Let's do it again. I want to get 9. Hell yeah. So that's for an amazing profile picture, like the VF guy. It's like, has stars and on fire and other things. I'm just very basic. Oh, you made it in there. I didn't notice. Because whenever you do a street, like whenever you do like country elimination and stuff, you have some... Oh, hang on. It's just Netherlands. Like, you have some time after you guess it to look at the other participants. But here, I don't really have time. I just need to guess as quickly as possible. What does it say? That's all Spanish. Well, they're probably in Guatemala. There we go. Oh, that was Rotterdam? I didn't know. I didn't even look at which city we were in. Holy sh... What? Oh. The Netherlands. Is this like the Rijksmuseum? Probably. Got lucky with that. What the hell? That's an Indian flag. There's no Indian city on here though. Bloody hell. This is stressful. Is this Spanish? Perhaps. How many South American cities are... Okay, let's just try this one. No, let's try that one. Okay, good. Guatemala. Next round. That's Nordic. So, Copenhagen. Ah, life refill. So now I have 5? No, 3. This is somewhere here. Yeah, there we go. United Arab Emirates. I think I'm doing well. Singapore. Or Kuala Lumpur. They look very similar. They look very similar. No, that didn't work. Converted paper product is English. Looks like sort of South American. Are we driving on the left? We are. I meant South African. I'm on 8. I'm doing well. Okay, what's this? Oh my god. Poland. Warsaw. 9. Let me get the 10. I got 10 seconds. Okay. Estonia. Latvia. Berlin. No. I thought it was somewhere in Europe. Well, I got 9. Which is damn good. Hang on, am I now in City Division Tier 1, it says? Instead of Tier 4. Hey, I finished in first place as well. I didn't even pay attention to that. Hey, that's pretty good. Also, I'm rank 60 nice. Okay. 988. Haha, I'm the best. Well, this one time anyway. Let's do a bit of distance to finish with. Oh, maybe not finish with. We'll see what we do. Distance is interesting because you can, like when you do countries Battle Royale, you can have some help by knowing which countries have already incorrectly been guessed. In distance, you can get some help by knowing like how far away you are compared to others. Oh, you are in the game again. Good luck, Verniak. You can see it say, oh, hello. Yeah, Verniak, I see you. Okay, I don't need the correct country, but I just need the correct... I just need to be not the furthest away. Yeah, this is the Netherlands. I thought it would be. Now the question is, where are we in the Netherlands? Or are we in Belgium? That might be, well, it doesn't really look all that Dutch, I must say. Yeah, we're probably in Belgium. Oh yeah, this looks very not Dutch. because it looks terrible. Oh, I haven't guessed yet. Was almost too late. We ended up being in Antwerp. Alright, next round. So I got 1 bonus guess for survived round, close guess and correct area. There's no lives here. You start off with 5 guesses. And if you're out of guesses, that's it, you lose. Okay, so we're in Argentina, because .ar. But if you go to the next round, you always get at least 1 extra guess. So you can't start off with 0 guesses in a round. That would have been a bit useless. You know what, let's put it down in Buenos Aires. Okay, I'm 266 kilometers further away than Saddled Sea Bream. So it's at least 266 kilometers away. Now, I don't know really many other cities. There's Cordoba. Let's try Cordoba. Oh, well, I'm still 249 kilometers away from the first place, but I'm a lot closer. Okay, we ended up being in Santiago del... It just keeps being in the way. Del Estero. I was not close enough to get the guess from that, to get the thing from that, but I did have the correct country. Okay, that is Japanese. Now, can I find a phone number? I probably will be able to. 010. I believe that means we're on Hokkaido, which is the island in the north. Oh. Okay, we're in Malaysia. Whoa. E2. Okay, we're in the province with the E's, which seems to be like this province. We're very near Kuala Lumpur then. Like we're on the 1, which is there. Okay, there's the E2. Ah! I forgot to guess! The time is faster than I thought it would be. No. Also, I wasn't anywhere close. We were all the way here. But... would I have... No, I would not have been the furthest away, because I had it like down here, closer than them. So I would not have been kicked out if I did guess. Is it me or is the timer for it faster than I was used to? Because this is not the first round that I almost forgot to guess. And I've played this before, and I feel like the timer was a little bit longer previously. Let's go again. See how well I can do. See if I can at least complete a game without forgetting to guess. Yeah, that did feel unusually quick. It's 1 minute. I believe it used to be 1.5 minutes. So that would be a third slower. No, a third faster. Now than it used to be. Hang on, this is just... Oh, there we go. It's finally loaded in. No, it's of much use. Oh, there we go. A roundabout with signs. Holy... Can we load in, please? Oh, now it's just blackness. Where's that sign? Jesus Christ. Nothing is loading. Is GeoGuessr about to go down again or something? No one's done a guess. Let's put it there. Spain then. I'm still too far away. Okay, now I'm at least on the good side. What was that? Oh, it was in southern Italy. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Tuga Valbom and 15 minutes ago, Brioda12. Well, that was pretty bad. Okay, there's definitely... Oh my god, GeoGuessr is just slow again. Hang on. That's Dutch. Are we on the border with Germany or is it just Belgium? I think this is... Oh, there we go. Belgian flag. Let's go Mechelen. I wonder if this is just a coincidence that 2 weeks in a row the GeoGuessr website is messing up when I'm streaming it, or that it's always often bad. Because this is not really playable. Like, I've gotten luck that I'm still in, but, you know. Alright. What does this say? That feels Nordic. Some Nordic language. What the... Oh my god. This is just... Hang on, there was a flag there. Is that an Italian flag from the few pixels I can see? Oh, that's a Danish flag. Behind it. I'm in first. This is just great, GeoGuessr. Just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. At least I'm doing well. That was quite close. Alright. I don't have that many guesses left, but you usually don't need all your guesses. Like, often if you're doing well, you have like 10 guesses or so left for the last round, which you'd never all use. That feels not quite Polish, but somewhere in the neighborhood, like Czechia or Slovakia or apparently Blurland. Come on. Load that bottom text. I think there's a web address there. Okay, there is, but it's .com. That doesn't really help. Let's try there. Okay, it took like 2 seconds to process my guess. And it's not a great guess. We might actually be in Poland, I'm not sure. But as long as I'm not the worst, I'm fine. We were in Poland, but I was the only one to guess Czechia, but all the guys in Poland were further away. Because we were quite close to the border with Slovenia and Czechia. Slovakia, not Slovenia. That's Cyrillic. Now the problem with Russia, if this is Russia, it's absolutely massive. So you can be very far away even if you get the correct country. I mean, currently there are a lot more problems with Russia. Bienvenue. That's welcome, and that's welcome in a lot of different languages. I don't know where. Like Serbia or something. I don't know. I do know that... Okay, I'm just gonna guess Serbia. Because I have a feeling that it's Serbia. Don't know why. Am I right? I am. For some reason. But I'm happy with it. Gives me an extra guess because I got the country correct. Yeah, 2 extra guesses technically, but you always use at least 1, so that's just the one you get back. Oh, this is very, well, European, definitely. This all feels very Italian. So I'm gonna guess Italy. And I'm probably not gonna guess very many more clues if we're... Oh, we seem to be doing better now. Autostrada, that means highway, but I don't know. Are we in like, I think Naples is in like hills and stuff. Might also be further north. Let's already put the guess on like Milan. Oh, that's in the valley, right? Maybe something like Varese or something. Are the other ones just not guessing? Okay, I qualified for the next round, but one person didn't guess. They were late. Maybe they also are still used to the longer time per round, just like me. Usually I judge people for not guessing quickly enough, just forgetting, but I did it, so I can't really judge people anymore. Okay, this feels very Nordic. What does that say? It's barely readable. Probably nothing of use anyway. Oh, that's Finnish. Or Estonian. Let's go Lati. I don't know how close by I am, but... Because I'm the only one who's guessed yet, so I don't really have any context. Not yet, anyway. Are the others just not gonna get... Are there... It's almost 2,000 kilometers away from me. Oh, they guessed Romania. No, Bulgaria even. Damn. Okay, the other person at least guessed Estonia, which is reasonable considering the language. They are very similar, Estonian and Finnish. This is beautiful. I'm almost tempted to say the Netherlands, but it's not the Netherlands. Because hills and other stuff, like cycling paths with their own color, and yeah, a lot of different things. But it reminded me of the Netherlands for a little bit. Don't know what this would be though. Maybe like Czechia. Something like that. Oh, hang on. Ronneby. Oh, this is somewhere here. Like Nordic stuff. Okay, I'm too late. I'm out. But I've made it to the final. Okay, it's just not processing the fact that I've lost yet. It's just putting it, just making me think about it for a little more. Like, can you just work? Please? Can you just... Come on. I've already lost. Or is the website down again? You know what? Reconnecting to your game. Well, just tell me I've lost. Thank you. Well, thank you, Kangi. For me, you know, the lack of comments, lack of chatter is a bit... makes this for me a bit less interesting. It feels less like an interactive stream. And more of just me doing something that's being watched. But if you guys like it, that's nice. Okay, I'm going to do one map of the Netherlands and then we're done for tonight. Let's see what I can do. At least, you know, as long as it's all moving fast and, you know, loading fast and it's all working fine. We don't have to connect with all the players now, so maybe it works better. Let's see what I can do. Okay. Rural road. That's not a good sign. And it's even a dead end on this end. Well, there is a bend here, which does help. Well, could help if we find the rough location. This doesn't help. Let's go this way. Okay, we got a village here. Tirrens, gemeente something that I can't pronounce. This is either in Limburg or in Friesland. Because I believe those two have like their own name as well. Probably Frisia. I've never heard of that municipality. Oh, municipality Zuidwest Friesland. I had heard of it, I just couldn't read it. Okay, turns. Zuidwest Friesland is pretty big though. And this village is pretty small. But let's see if I can find it. Grote Wiske, Kleine Wiske. I don't know where it ends. Because there are no municipality borders on this map. And now it's big, but it can't be like much bigger than this. I haven't found it yet. Let's hope if we can find a sign. Like an ANWB road sign. That would surely help me. And if not, then this is already... Okay, there we go. There we got one. The Taborwei... Okay, Snake is 4. Where's Snake? There. And IJsbrechtem is 1. Tirrens. I found Tirrens. We're probably somewhere there. Okay, we're going roughly to the north left. This is the northwest. Then we got a sharp turn to the right. Probably like there. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. Like, especially on a straight road like that, it's really difficult to properly estimate where you are. That's the annoying thing about the Netherlands. Good luck getting this within 15 meters, which you need for a perfect score. Like, there's no features to do anything with. To, like, determine where exactly you are. And if I had a little bit more time, I probably could have gotten a little bit closer. But not that close. I didn't know Zuidwest Friesland went this far north. It's like a massive municipality. Yeah, I think it's the biggest in the Netherlands. I'm not entirely sure. But in terms of area, it's at least pretty big. It's at least one of the biggest. Alright, let's go next round. Okay, this one should be easier. Signs everywhere. I don't need to hurry, I think. Oh, that's a useless sign. Well, we're on the S118, which could be useful. Let's go the other way. Because there was a sign there, which is probably more useful. Ring A10. Welcome to Amsterdam. What that's for road. Go on, don't be blurred. The 116. Okay, we're on the close to the A10 and we're on the 116 and the 118. Okay, there's the 116. There's the 17. That means 118 must be close. There's the 118. Okay, then we're somewhere like there. Yeah, we're on the 116. We're going to the northeast. Yeah, we must be there. Because there's this bridge. We're getting off the road. Which is exactly that. Okay, so we are somewhere there. And let's see. Hang on, that's going to the... Oh, we're on the left side of the road. So we're on that part. And if we go down... so here the road splits in twain. So then we're somewhere there. I think. This is really difficult exactly determining where we are. Because the road is already split in two. And we're not quite next to the river anymore. So we take like a little bit distance from the river here. Canal. Yeah, I think this is the best I can do. 23 meters. Oh, that is still 5,000. It's been relaxed a little. I remember when you needed less than 10 meters. Okay, so that's pretty good. And pretty quick. Okay. Bergen op Zoom Noord, afrit 27. Exit 27. Bergen op Zoom is here. And we're like very much next to it. Okay, we're somewhere here. Like we're very close to the exit. Oh, we're going south. We're on the other side. Now, good luck finding exactly where we are. We started on the other side. So on this side. Okay, there's a house there. And there's a building there. We're sort of in between it. Slightly more to the north. Which might be these buildings. Like there's also a building there, which might be that one. There's a thing in the way. So hang on, that's a building like that and like that. That could be this one. And then the other house might be that one. So it should mean we're like more that way. Yeah, because then that is probably this one. So we're sort of then in between those. So we're probably, yeah, let's put it there. 10 meters. Haha. That's pretty good. So you see, we don't see the buildings. Yes, you can. I mean, if I see them, you should as well. You can definitely see buildings on the map here, right? If I zoom in this much. You can definitely see a grey outline. I mean, I can see them on the stream preview. So you should be able to see them as well. If you know what to look for. Okay, next round. Apart from the first one, I've done really well. I mean, 2 5,000s. You can't really do much better than that. But you can get less distance, I suppose. Bossenbroek. Which means forest pants. Driebergen-Rijsenburg. And we're in municipality Utrechtse Heuvelrug. Well, they're probably somewhere in Utrecht. Where though? I don't know where Rijsselburg of... Oh, Driebergen-Rijsselburg. Well, that was surprisingly easy. Okay, we're on a road that goes not quite straight north. Goes a little bit to the west as well. So, what kind of road could that be? Like this road, maybe? Let's see. Which road are we on? Arnhemse Bovenweg. Oh, we're very close to Zeist. Hang on. Where's Zeist? Oh, Zeist is there. Oh. Oh, here's the Arnhemse Bovenweg. Then we're probably like somewhere there. Where's that Broekhoven thing that I saw? I think we started on the same road. Didn't go on a different road, right? No. Like, yeah. Albossenbroek BV. Hopefully that's on the map. What do we have to this side? Oh, there's a road. Sportlaan. Oh, that might help. Oh, Arnhemsboven all way this way. I don't know on which side of the highway we are. We can't be this good because that's not Zeist. We must be. Oh, there's the Sportlaan. Found it. We're quite damn close to that. So there? Yeah, probably there. 17 meters. 5,000 again. Okay. And this round's probably gonna be tricky. We'll see what I can do. Hopefully we'll find something. Mostly you'll find something in the Netherlands, but sometimes... I remember one time from being stuck somewhere on the Veluwe, which was pretty much impossible to find any kind of good clue on. Okay, there's a sign there. Like, we have these kind of... They're ANWB road signs. They're everywhere in the Netherlands. Oudega. I believe that's in, like, Groningen? I'm not sure. Elahuizen. Like, I don't know where any of these are. Which is a problem. Zichtstallknorhof. Well, that's a really strange name. Really funny name. But okay. So, let's go this way. Like, the Oudega, or maybe it's Frisian. Like, the ga at the end sounds really like Frisian. You have Wolvenga, Appelscha. What does this say? I don't know. Nothing useful. I know what it says. I can read it. But nothing useful. Okay, let's just try looking for Oudega. Although, considering Reis was on the borden... I'm starting to talk Dutch. Reis was on the signs. Might be somewhere else too. I don't know where Reis is, but we were in like Driebergen, Reis something, which was in Utrecht. So let's hope we can find... Hang on, where are we? We're suddenly in a village. I don't remember seeing us go into a village. Okay, more signs. Let it be useful. Snake! Yes! Snake, where's Oudega? Oh, there's Balk. Balk was on there. Okay, we're in Harig. Probably there then. Like, okay, this road goes almost straight north. Did we go to the north? I believe I went to the south. Which road could it be? This one. Think. No. But close. Not too bad. Is it better than Dinksperlo? It did say .free. Oh, I thought that .frl. But that would probably still be Friesland. I didn't realize it could be that. Anyway. This is decent. This is decent. This is pretty standard for a round of me in 3 minutes of the Netherlands. 3 perfect scores, 1 pretty damn good, and 1 okay. Yeah, don't often do much better. Okay, that was it for this stream. And I hope you found it chill. Many of you said you did. So, yeah, cookies. Oh, go away.
Is ook zo. En gewoon komt van een guy.
Go away, you as well. I'm not logged in on Twitch here. I can't see who I follow online. Because I'm on incognito. Let me go to Twitch in non-incognito, which you won't see. Let me see if someone's online that I follow. No. Okay, let's see if I can, go on GeoGuessr. So I Google for that, someone live. Someone is doing Counter-Strike. I feel like just raiding Snappy, because that's always fun. Let's raid Snappy Pickles. So let's have a nice end screen, which let's go back to this one. Thank you very much for watching. And I will now send you off. If you like watching Snappy, stick around. If you don't, that's fine. And I'll see you in the next live stream, which is on Sunday. Have a good night.